A student study team meeting is comprised of various stakeholders such as the student, a student's parent or guardian, administrator, the coordinator, teachers from various subject areas, and the student's counselor. It is very important that all invited staff members are present and engaged and remain student-focused and strength-centered. Action plans will be determined at the meeting and need to be implemented and monitored so that progress can be reviewed during the follow-up SST. The purpose of an SST meeting is to problem solve within a general education setting, to discuss a main concern and identify strategies related to these concerns, to identify accommodations in the general education setting that have already been attempted, and to agree on action plans as a team that will be implemented on a regular basis.
Students in regular education programs who are experiencing lack of academic progress, increasing behavioral concerns, attendance or truancy issues, problems with peers, parent concerns which do not appear to be resolved, language or communication problems, work habits or study skills problems, lack of success in previously attempted interventions. The concern should be present in 2 or more settings. An SST is not an appropriate intervention if the concern is an isolated issue, i.e., only failing or acting out in one class. Before requesting an SST, please make sure to complete the following. Have a meeting with the student. Make parent contact, either over the phone or by email. Have a parent conference as well. Please use the Viking 102 nomination form to refer a student for an SST. You can reach this form in 2 ways. You can either find the Viking 102 nomination form on the PBIS pages of the Longhouse, or you can go straight to the bit.ly.
What does an SST look like?
So welcome to our SST meeting for Aaliyah and Nis. SST meeting is designed to support students who are having difficulty in their regular classroom. The SST is a group formed within the school to further examine a student's academic, behavioral, and social-emotional progress. The SST team can propose interventions for Aaliyah. So 3:15, we will. Our goal is to finish this meeting by 4:15, and we are going to start out with introductions. My name is Mark Kohler. I'm an assistant principal here at North High.
My name is Aaliyah Ennis. I'm the student.
Hi, my name is James. I'm Aaliyah's father.
My name is Shannon McCann. I'm the math teacher.
Diane Tucker, I'm the science teacher.
I'm Ashley Schaefer. I'm the SST coordinator, so I'll be taking notes during this meeting, and we'll be sharing out the notes with everybody afterwards.
And I'm Emily Oliver. I'm Aaliyah's counselor. So Aaliyah's strengths are that she's very social. And I find that a strength because that means she works well in her group.
So in math class, Leah's strengths are, I confirm, she is quite social, which is great in math class because the students are seated in pairs, and I often ask students to work together, and she's really good at picking up whatever the question is and talking with her partner.
Aaliyah's strengths, she's smart, intelligent.
And Aaliyah, you too?
I like to talk to people. I think that's one of my strengths. I am a good public speaker.
So starting with note information, this meeting was requested from Miss McCann, Aaliyah's math teacher, because of concerns about her math grades. And then also, she has currently 4 Fs
Looking back through the CUME file, Aaliyah had mostly B's and C's in middle school, some D's, but primarily B's and C's. Looking at her state tests, she was approaching standards or met standards throughout elementary and middle school. However, like I mentioned, she's now failing those 4 classes as a 9th grader.
So I have moved her away from her friends. She has notes in front of her at all times, whether they are on the computer or printed out if she needs them. I've allowed homework to be turned in late and a longer time for assignments. I have given, instead of a period for an assignment, I've given pretty much everybody, not just Aaliyah, 2 days to do an assignment.
So I moved her closer to the front of the classroom, and I paired her with somebody who is not so talkative. So that's kind of helping with that a little bit. They do talk when they're asked to talk about problems, so that's good.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, I met with Aaliyah a few times, partly because I've had our teachers reach out to me. I've spoke with her father a couple of times. So I met with her, we did a goal setting activity together, actually, just because coming from 9th grade, just getting them to realize, okay, what are my future goals and how do I prepare for those? I kind of talked to her more about graduation requirements, about our grading system, and just what it means to fail a class, especially as a 9th grader.
I think she's having a transitional issue from middle school to high school.
Now, she has been late a fair number of times to class, and what that means is we have 2 quizzes a week, and they're right at the start of class on Tuesday and Thursday. So if she's late, she misses those quizzes. Now, a student can always come in at lunchtime or after school and make up the quiz, but she's not coming in to do that makeup. She does take notes in class, but when she hands in her math book at the end of every week, it's all kind of scattered. And so I'm not sure, organizationally, if she's really keeping track of where we are and where we're going.
Dad, would you like to share any concerns that you have about Aaliyah, maybe at home or within school?
Well, it all partially began right after 8th grade graduation. What I'm also observing and seeing in Aaliyah is that me and Mom gave her a present, her phone, so she never had a social media. So we bought her a phone for graduation, and since that day, and she got a couple of new buddies, a couple of new girls she started hanging around with, she started acting out a little bit. And hearing you all, that's what I'm getting at home as well too. She's not listening to us. I kind of hardly see her do any type of work.
And one thing I can do later too is we've already checked in a little bit, so maybe we can sit down and really organize a system that works for you, organization. Another thing that we can maybe do in order to get your grade up a little bit is we could, at least for a little while, we could do those weekly pink sheets. So you'll take those to each of your teachers. You'll have them kind of write what your grade is in your citizenship and write any comments, and then you'll take it home at the end of the day to have your dad sign it. That way too, then we are keeping track of our grades, and that we can see some improvement once we start to get a little more organized. Aaliyah, what do you think would help? Like what, we all know you're social and that's awesome, but how can we use that in a way that's productive in the classroom?
I think separating me from other social people doesn't work well. And I think that's something I individually would have to work on.
Do you find it helpful to be at the front of the class, like in Ms. McCann's class? Okay. Are there other concerns that we're kind of not addressing?
I think we kind of just need to address the fact that her grades are low and that maybe she does need some help to catch up, because it is a few weeks into the semester now, and so there may be like content that you haven't completely grasped. Teachers, do you have tutorials available, or do you have time in your day where Leah can come get extra help?
Yeah, I'm available before school, after school, and at lunch, and science department does have tutorials Monday through Thursday.
Math has tutorials available as well.
Just to kind of review, we have a few different action plans, looking at staff, counselor, you're going to be meeting with Aaliyah. when would that be for a meeting with organizational strategies?
I can meet with her next week so we can get it organized and start making some improvements with that.
Okay. I am agreeing to get a binder to you, which I can do tomorrow during first period. I'll just drop it off in your first period class. Aaliyah, you have some things on your plate. That's going to tutorial with Dr. Tucker on Wednesdays during lunch, and then going to tutorial with Ms. McCann on Wednesdays after school. And then teachers, you've said you've agreed to separate Aaliyah from maybe her more social friends, and I know that's already kind of happened in your class, but this is something we'll share out with the other teachers as well who weren't able to make it, as well as taking the tip of seating at the front of the classroom, which has been useful. And also, Dad has agreed to check his email and check for those progress reports for when issues are arising. Teachers will email, and then those weekly or bi-weekly progress reports will come at least from science. And those have been our actions. Are we in agreement?
Sure.
Good. Okay.
Just
So
real quick, what's gonna happen is Leah, you're gonna give me your phone. Once I see those grades up, then I'll be giving your phone as well as a.
And typically, too, we do have follow-up SSTs within about 6 weeks. So that would be a really good time for us to gauge what kind of progress we can make with Aaliyah at that point. And if we see some of the grades go up and when we see an improvement, then maybe she can earn her phone.
yeah, so I'm gonna have us pass around. Basically, we're signing and saying that we agree. Everybody will get a copy of the SST notes. I'm gonna mail those home to you. And then I'd like to actually add that 6-week out date right now as we pass this around. So I'll take a look at the calendar.